Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you guys. But before we start, as always, if you find these videos helpful or enlightening, could you please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, today we have a Duralast Ratchet. Kind of a continuation of our little series of the Duralast Ratchet that was first appeared. Duralast is an Autozone brand, sold at Autozone stores, and they first came out with this model. Not too sure, maybe 10 years ago or less, maybe 8 years ago. These appeared at Autozone, and they're pretty well regarded. Even though they were made in Taiwan, they have a lot of good features for a Taiwanese Ratchet. A lot of features that were kind of comparable to higher end Ratchets like USA. I'm not gonna say this is as good, but maybe a lot of the features of a USA like snap-on. But okay, don't bite my head off over this. I'm not saying these are as good as a snap-on, but they're pretty decent ratchets for what they are, even though they're made in Taiwan. Okay, and this is the 1/2-inch version of the regular set of ratchets. And as we see here, it says Duralast. The model number is 72-126. Here's the handle. It has a fairly traditional handle. There's a little bit of knurling on the bottom and like 2 circles of knurling on the top here. It's contoured. It's a thick beam, pretty thick shaft. Good heavy. This is a pretty heavy ratchet. Like other ratchets in this series, it has the plate with engraving. It says replace worn parts, and it has the symbol for safety glasses. It has the model number 72-126, and on top, warning: inspect, clean, and oil regularly. And on the back of the head, it has Duralast. And here's another Duralast of the same series, but this one has a rubber handle, a rubber contoured handle. And this one's a 3/8 model. And this one's a little bit different in the printing here, whereas the big one has Duralast like it does here, but the big one has Duralast and the model number. And here on the front it says guaranteed for life instead on the 3/8. I'm not sure if this is for all models. They have the guarantee for life on top, or maybe it's just for the rubber handle models. Not too sure. And if you're interested in buying new ones of this type of ratchet, they do sell them under a different name, and I've seen them, and I have one I've got from Amazon. This is an OEM ratchet, and these are brand new, and they sell them on Amazon, like I said, and they're pretty comparable, about the same quality as the original Duralast, maybe a little bit rougher, I would say. This has a pretty heavy back drag, but all in all, it's pretty much the same ratchet. And I got this one about a month or 2 ago, and it was a decent price. This one was $18, and I checked today, and now they're selling the same ratchet for $35, which I think is ridiculous, because you can get a Williams made in USA box head ratchet similar to this, 36 teeth, on Amazon for $29, and that's made in USA. So okay, just to open this up so we can take a look inside. These has 2 screws. These screws are T15s, Torx 15s. These are the screws. They're pretty typical screws, nothing special here. They do have a bit of Loctite on the top, on the threads. And this is what they look like. Okay. And you lift up on the anvil a little bit and you remove the plate. And this is the plate. As I said, there's the engraved lettering here, which typically you find on like higher end ratchets. And this is a good heavy piece. It's pretty thick, has a pretty nice thickness here to this plate, and it's a pretty heavy duty plate. Okay, here's the gear. There's the ball detent. It's well centered, and let's see, holds pretty good, not too bad. And the anvil side, there's this, it has a rubber gasket there, rubber seal to help protect the inside of the ratchet from debris or moisture. And here's the back of the gear, and this gear is 36 teeth. So you can see a good look at the teeth there. Here's the inside of the ratchet. Pretty good job, well cut, everything looks well done. Okay, this pawl is held by a T6, which could be a drag because not many people have something as small as a T6 driver, but if you have it, here's the screw, has a little Loctite on it. Okay, and the pawl has a ball and spring underneath of it, so be kind of careful when you take it out. You don't want to lose the ball. Alright. Here's your pawl. It's a heavy pawl. It's pretty thick. Has a good heft to it, good thickness. That's the front. And here's the back where the switch, the protrusion for the switch fits in the back there. That's how you do your switching. And this pawl has 2 teeth per side. Everything looks pretty well cut, well done. Here's the switch. Don't know what it's made of, but once again here we have a rubber O-ring protecting against debris and whatnot from the switch side. Here's the ball. Pretty small ball for a half-inch ratchet. And the spring underneath the ball. Here's another look at the inside of the ratchet. Okay, to put this back together, you just take your spring, you drop that in the hole, and here's the tricky part, is you take the ball and you just try to balance it on the spring, like that. Now you take your pawl with the small hole facing you and the switch hole towards the back. Let me see if I can maneuver this and do it. Okay. And you just slip it in like that and press it down. Switch it a little bit so the ball detent goes in the groove. And you take your switch. Make sure there's a flat top on the protrusion. Make sure that matches the flat in the hole, like that. Okay. You take your small pawl screw and your T6 driver, and you get that, screw that into the switch. Not too tight, because like I said, it's a good quality ratchet, but who knows how good these screws are. And from experience, I can tell you a lot of Asian Torx screws are not very good. So to avoid stripping them out and whatnot, I wouldn't go too crazy with the torque. Alright, and you drop in your gear. And this is what it looks like when it's ratcheting. Okay, and you take your plate, you drop that in there, and you hold the plate down with your finger, and you tighten your plate screws. As I said before, don't go too crazy tightening these down. Just pretty tight is good enough. You don't want to strip out these screws. If you think you need it more secure, I would just put some more Loctite on those threads to help secure the screws to the plate. But that's about it. That's my teardown and review of the Duralast 72126 ratchet, 1/2 inch drive. It's a pretty good quality. If you see one at a decent price, pick it up. The only thing I forgot to mention is that these ratchets sometimes have like a pretty strong back drag. This one, I guess I'm gonna have to lube up a little bit better, but I do feel like a good, not terrible, but a decent amount of back drag. Okay guys, till next time.